when you serve in London, like I said, there's lots of Africans and a lot of West Africans specifically. Now, basically, most of them come from either Ghana or Nigeria. You have to understand, Nigeria and Ghana, while they all typically speak English there's also hundreds of different dialects as people come from different tribes or regions of Ghana or Nigeria. The three different groups that I met the most often were Ghanaians. Most Ghanaians speak something called Twi. And so a typical greeting in Twi is to say etuse, which is just hello. And if you say wohutasen, it means how are you? To which they respond eya. And they'd usually respond they laugh and like eya, brethren. Another interesting thing to say in Twi would be mipe fufu papa, which means I like fufu a lot. And no joke, if you were on the doorstep with like an African mother and you told her that, she'd probably invite you in and make fufu for you right there because they're so kind. And so anytime I met a Ghanaian, I'd ask them where they're from and I'd ask them what tribe. And if they said, oh, I'm Twi, if I speak Twi, then I'd always respond with etuse, uhutasen. From Nigeria, there was three different main tribes that they would come from. The two that I ran into the most were Igbo and Yoruba. So I can only remember the informal greeting for Yoruba, but it would be showapa, which is basically like, what's up? And so if I met someone from Nigeria, I'd ask where they were from. If they said Yoruba, I'd be, oh, showapa, and they would always love that. And I'd usually go on, I actually learned how to say, what's your name? It's kera ukwe, which means what's your name, and after they respond, you respond Eruko Mini, and that means my name is Eruko Mini. So say what's your name, my name is, and they'd be so impressed by that they'd listen to you. So if you're Michael, my name's Michael, Yoruko Mini Michael Jarman, or Elder Jarman, I guess in that case. And the last one was Igbo, and so that was the other people. I wouldn't meet as many of them as I'd meet Yorubas, but there'd often be a lot of Igbo from Nigeria. And the greeting for that's simple. It's just kekeme. And so you just smile real big and say kekeme. And they'd always respond with an odema, which means, no, it's just the typical response to kekeme. I'm not actually sure what it means. They never told me. But yeah, so I used those three greetings more often than anything else while I was living in London itself.